Hey, this is Pastor Roy from Christ Lutheran Church in Chino, and this morning I'm doing a little bit of filming. I want to talk about some things that are happening at the church now and that will be happening next year. First thing is the leadership change, which you're all aware of by now. I wanted to speak a little bit on Linnea, just the topic of Linnea and how difficult it's going to be to actually we're not replacing her. She's not leaving the church. She's just no longer the president. She plans on staying on and taking over some of the administrative work, but there definitely will be a slight disconnect there. I wrote down on my little paper here, it's sort of like trying to replace Billy Graham. Okay, here comes the next evangelical wizard, and it's not Billy Graham. It's like, oh, geez. It's sometimes hard when you replace somebody like Linnea that's been at this church for as long as she has, and literally nobody, I repeat, nobody will ever be able to replace Linnea. They just won't. But that's not a bad thing, because we now have two people, John Doverspike and Jason Fox. John is the president and Jason is a member at large. They have decided on the side to do a lot of the work of the president by committee. So for us, as a council, as a church, there will also be a little bit, it'll be a change, it'll be different, but it'll all be good. I was very, very nervous about Linnea stepping down as president, because I thought to myself, well, I know what's going to happen now. Everything that Linnea used to do, guess who's going to do it? Because I live in the parsonage. But I believe that John and Jason and the members of the council and everybody else at the church we will find a way to pick up the slack so that there will not be a burden on anyone. I frankly look forward to the direction that the council will take next year, because we still have Linnea here. We're just moving in a different direction. The church is changing. Let's face it. We are evolving. Believe it or not, I have told so many pastors that we are actually getting young families, and they're like, what? What are you talking about? That's impossible. Nobody gets young families, especially in the Lutheran church anymore. And I'm like, well, I don't know what's happening, but we're actually getting young families. Now, with that comes kids, right? Kids, second service. Take a look. It sometimes can have the feel that it's out of control or chaos, but it's not. It's what I would call like a controlled chaos. My philosophy on the kids is this: I want to welcome them to play up front with the band, to be involved, the children's sermon. And yes, with that comes, surprises sometimes, but to me, they're good surprises. They're surprises that we need. We need that youthful enthusiasm. With that comes that slight feeling of chaos. And I'm almost 70 now. Hubbub sometimes drives me crazy, but I'm going to call it holy hubbub. And yes, I just came up with that term right now. Holy hubbub is what we're going to need to embrace at second service as we continue to grow and we continue to bring young families. That's why the kids like to come to church, because we allow them to do things, light the candles, play with the band, have a children's sermon, have a word of the week for the kids, That's why they're coming to church. In the old days, parents would have to drag their kids to church kicking and screaming by the ear. I know, because my parents did that to me. Nowadays, the kids are like, Mom, Dad, are we going to church today or what? And the kids bring the parents. It's such a beautiful thing. And I don't want to lose that. So I'm asking that we all have that spirit of charity as we continue to grow and continue. And it's the only way we are going to grow. With that, I would also like to place a little bit of a challenge to the younger families to join, to to be part of. There's so many opportunities here that you can be a part of. We have our fellowship committee, we have our outreach committee, we have finance committee, we have properties committee. There's all kinds of ways that you can pitch in, and a lot of our young families are already doing that. I realize I'm preaching to the choir, but I want to encourage you to get involved, because we do have, like, our women's group, Bible buddies, and I always want to call it the good old gals, but they got mad at me. It's the good time gals. The good old gals apparently wasn't cool. But we have the good time gals and Bible buddies. I would like to get some of the youthful, mothers involved in our women's group also. And then men's breakfast. It's like, I want to implore the guys, come on, man, get out there. It's only once a month. We meet at Chino Cafe once a month. I think it's the third Saturday of the month, if I'm not mistaken. And Dean is so good about sending out a text to probably 30 guys. And then we get 4 guys at Chino Cafe. It's like, come on, I just want to throw a challenge out there. Come on, guys, once a month, Chino Cafe, let's get like 10, 12, 15 people in there, and let's try to grow that ministry, because then my hope is we don't just talk about the weather and the Ducks and the Rams, but we plan some men's event. Maybe we go to Prado and go shooting. I don't know. I like to shoot guns. I do. It's fun. Maybe we go to Prado. Maybe we do I don't know. I just know that I would love to have a men's group. I would love to have a men's group where we meet and pray and play park twice a year. Let's say we do men's breakfast in the park and we grill steak and eggs. I don't know. But to get it going, we need people to come out and support it. I'd also like to throw a plug out there for our Casserole Bible Study, which is CBS. It's not an in-depth Bible study. It's just looking at John, answering some questions, eating food. It's a fellowship event is what it is. So try and come out January 3rd. Try CBS. I think you will really enjoy it. The last thing I want to talk about is something that no pastor ever likes to talk about, and it's finances. And I specifically would like to talk about tithing. Ooh, I know, the T word. No, not tithing. And I just want to tell you a little story. A long time ago, when Janine and I were, we had no money, we were really hurting. We were eating a lot of porritos, and you're like, porrito? No, did he mean burrito? No, I meant porrito. It was flour tortilla and Rosarito canned refried beans. And you're like, what about the cheese? No cheese. Cheese is a luxury. Porritos is what we were eating. People kept telling me, you need to tithe. Tithe? How can I give 10% of what I don't have? We were hurting. Finally, somebody challenged me. They said, try it. You will never look back, and you'll have more money than you can imagine. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm tired of these people telling me about tithing. We started to tithe. I'm telling you, that was when our finances actually changed for the better, and we've never looked back. We need to use Jesus as our example. Jesus was extremely generous with his time and his treasure. Jesus never vetted anyone. Jesus never walked down the road and somebody said, I need this. He never vetted them, and said, well, let me do a quick financial background on you. Jesus helped people he met. Jesus was generous to people he met. Not only Jesus, but then Jesus was also quick to point out to his disciples when he saw generosity and people giving beyond their means. Take, for example, read Luke 21 verses, as I'm looking down now, Luke 21 verses 1 through 4. Remember, we all know the story, the widow's mite, but think about it again. Jesus saw these people, Pharisees and whatnot, putting in, big quantities of money into the coffers. And then he saw this lady put in these 2, basically like probably less than a penny And what did Jesus do? He pointed out to his disciples, yes, those people gave, but they gave from their abundance. It was a drop in the bucket to them. It was like they weren't even really giving. On the other hand, the widow gave from her poverty. She gave everything she had. Why? Because she was foolish? No, because she trusted Jesus. She trusted the Lord to meet her needs. And that's what we need to do. The joy of giving is wonderful, because not only do you feel good about giving, but then that same joy comes back to you. And that's how Jesus rolled. That's how he lived his life. That's how he liked to point out people that did that. And we can certainly follow in his footsteps, or at least try to. So I'll end with this. If you have topics that you're interested in, that you would like me to speak on moving forward, or that did not get included in this video, by all means, let me know. But I love you guys. And like I said in I think both of the Christmas Eve services, there's not a day that goes by that Janine and I don't thank God for placing us here at this church and with all of you, because we love you dearly. So thank you. Praise Jesus. Amen.